Hello everyone, and welcome to part 7 of our Pokemon X and Y playthrough. We hope you've been enjoying the series so far, and it would be great if you all could hit that like and subscribe button and consider becoming a member, as it really helps us out. And even if you don't, we're so happy you clicked on this video today, so enjoy.
Donald, that intro was on par with mine, so well done, buddy. It had everything from positivity, but still getting to the point as well. See, Joe, you need to do intros like that, bro.
Well, sorry, Obama, I haven't had any time to practice my intros in the mirror since all I've been doing the last week and a half was playing with that Eevee so it would evolve into this.
I see you finally got Sylveon then Joe. And I'm even more unhappy now. It was bad enough that it's pink, and then some of our viewers thought I'd feel better about using a shiny one, even though it's blue, which is even worse. But now, looking at this Sylveon, it's pink and blue at the same fucking time.
Donald, grow the fuck up and stop your blabbering, dude. Either way, you weren't happy, so even if Sylveon had other colored tail thingies, you'd still be unhappy anyway.
Oh dear boys, check it out. I can't proceed towards Lumiose because apparently the power plant is out. This is Sinnoh all over again, isn't it, when Sunny Shore City lost all its power?
Yeah, Game Freak are very lazy when it comes to problem solving. But either way, Joe, looks like you need to turn into an engineer now and go to the power plant and see what's up. And by the way, thank you for all the comments in the last episode telling us which Pokemon game was your first. They were lovely to read.
Wow, Joe, so it seems Team Flair are the ones causing trouble at the power plant to the surprise of no one. But yeah, to carry on with what Donald was saying, Joe and I actually got to read all the comments this time as well. And it was great to see which games made everyone a fan of Pokemon like us.
Yeah, lots of people started with the very first games being Red and Blue, and then we saw some other people whose first game was Scarlet and Violet, and for them we apologize deeply.
Joe, you can't say that because they might have actually enjoyed those games, even if us three hates them, especially with all the lag and glitches and corrupt game files we had to deal with.
Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, then check this video's description for our Scarlet and Violet playthrough, which ended rather abruptly thanks to the game being a piece of trash and destroying itself. But it was fun whilst it lasted, I guess.
Yeah, anyway, I'd rather go back and talk about this game, Donnie, which actually works LMAO. But yeah, here I am taking on this grunt who's blocking my access to the power plant.
For this Sylveon to even be considered worthy to me, Joe, it needs way, way better moves. It needs Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam for sure, since those are some OP fairy type moves.
Yeah, I'm working on it, Donald, you idiot. I only got Sylveon a couple hours ago, so give me some time. And instead of bitching at me, don't you have another question for our lovely viewers to answer?
All right, calm your pants, Joe. And I do actually have another question for our viewers. How many of you have actually completed the Pokedex properly without an action replay or cheats of any kind? And on top of that, leave us a comment if you have a full living dex too. It would be great to hear how many peeps have managed to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to brag, but I actually have got a full living dex, boys. I may have mentioned it before, but I even have every version of Vivian and Alcremie too.
Yeah, we know Obama. And if you hadn't noticed, I had actually asked that question to our viewers, and you are, in fact, not a viewer, but a participant in these videos.
Well, Donald, by that logic, you could also say our viewers are so-called participants in these videos too, since you always get them to leave comments, which is in fact the definition of participating.
Obama, holy hell, please stop being a pedantic little shit. It's so annoying.
Okay, well, in other news, if you two haven't noticed in between all your bickering, I did some training with Honedge and now can actually use it in battle. And it's super duper strong too.
Yeah, Joe, I'm not that interested right now. And anyway, it's one level off evolving too, so it's not like Obama and I got to enjoy you using Honedge when you were training it.
Donald, I actually did you both a massive favor. This Pokemon is the worst to train since its moveset is so crap in the beginning, and all I did was spend time murdering fletchlings and other Pokemon in the grass. It was a very boring Sunday afternoon, trust me.
Well, either way, well done, Joe, for training it up and getting to the same level as the rest of our team. I am so looking forward to getting that Duskstone now, and a lovely viewer in the last episode commented on where to find one. The only issue is we get it after the champion battle.
Obama, I told you like 3 times now, I'm working on getting Joe one a little earlier than that. So we can actually use Aegislash before the last few episodes of this series, which would be pointless by that time. And if anyone has a problem with that, then go away.
Donald being nice as ever, I see. But yeah, I agree with you, Donnie. It would be pointless to use Ag/, like in the final episode of this series. So if you need to contact your Russian buddies to get a Dusk Stone much earlier, then go ahead.
Yeah, I second what Joe said too, Donald. It would be so dumb if we didn't get to use Ag/ before the Elite Four, at least. So I suggest you get that Dusk Stone as soon as possible.
Alrighty, boys, your wish is my command. 1 Dust Stone coming up. And talking of all this, look, our little Honedge is finally evolving. And by the way, how the hell does this Pokemon even work? Like, what even is it?
Good question. Donald and I have absolutely no idea. But I think the Pokemon is actually the thing possessing the sword. I don't think the sword is actually the Pokemon, like Yamask isn't the mask or Confragrigus.
Well, Honedge had an eye on the sword handle, so how comes another sword suddenly appears here like this when it evolves? That doesn't make any sense either.
Well, Donald, it evolved into Doublade now, and look, it gained another eye on the other new sword, which just randomly appeared out of nowhere. And by the way, guys, how comes this Pokemon barely appeared in the anime?
Yeah, I think it appeared once Obama in the Pokemon Master Journey series, but that's about it. Wickstrom of the Elite Four had one, and actually we'll be seeing him a little later on when it's finally time for me to battle them. And I only know about him because of the anime.
All right, Joey boy, looks like this place is actually swarming with Team Flair grunts, like an infestation of them, so I think we're gonna have a lot of battles in this episode. Knowing you, we won't make it to our 5th gym badge after having to deal with all these guys.
Yes, we will, Donald, because I really want to see Clement, and I hope Bonnie is there too.
Wow, been a minute since we got to see Creepy Biden, and I thought he actually had vacated permanently, but I guess I was wrong, and here he is back again hitting on minors.
Hey, Obama, cool it. I didn't mean it like that. Bonnie was really funny in the anime, and I know for a fact lots of people enjoyed her in the X and Y series.
She was all right, Joe, but my favorite friends of Ash was Brock and Dawn, and I'm really sad we'll never see them again. May and Max were also really cool, too.
Yeah, May and Max were cool, and I think out of everyone, they had the most screen time, excluding Brock in the anime, since he was basically in every single one up to Black and White, where he got a makeover and a name change into Salon El Mao.
Yeah, Cylan was basically the Brock of the Black and White anime series. And look, Joe, these two are admins for Team Flair. They're the whole reason that we're in this shithole to begin with.
These two aren't going to be any trouble for me, Donald. And talking of Brock, I'm quite sad he never got to find anyone in the end. The entire anime was him trying to find a girlfriend, and they did him dirty in the end by making him never get one.
OMG, Joe, you're right, and my man was risen every opportunity he could. And I'm pretty sure there were several situations where Brock could have been with someone, but instead he decided to stay with Ash. He takes the saying, bros before hoes, to the highest heights.
Yeah, Brock was definitely a Riz expert. On par with us three, don't you think, boys?
I would happily indoctrinate Brock, if that's the right word to use, into our little club here, boys. It would be great to have him on board.
Hey, look, Donald. Apparently you just wanted to learn the move, last resort, but I'm not going to teach that to you since I don't think it'll be helpful at this point in the game. And anyway, you said you wanted to learn more fairy-type moves.
Yeah, Joe, listen here, buddy. I already had major issues with you using that Sylveon to begin with, and then you thought it would be funny to name it after me, and now you think you're a fucking comedian by referring to me as that Sylveon. You are really pushing it, bro.
Donald, it's obviously not you, is it? I was just teasing you a little bit. What was it you told me way back when we played Pokémon Platinum? You said that a little character building is always good and your friends are the best people to help you out with that.
First of all, I'm surprised you actually went and remembered me saying that, Joe, but second of all, turning me into a Pokemon is not what I had in mind when I was talking about character building. This is just bestiality, if anything.
Yeah, Donald, you might want to double-check your definition of what bestiality is, because it's absolutely not what you think, holy hell. But anyway, Joe, well done for sweeping these admins. I think they're a joke and don't deserve the admin title, TBH.
I agree, Obama. And even some of our viewers agreed that Team Flair is a little shit. The most difficult admins I had to face were the Team Galactic ones. Then I'd say the Team Rocket ones would be second.
Yeah, especially that final admin battle with Mars and Jupiter atop Spear Pillar. And we had Barry with us too for the double battle, and it was still really tough.
On top of that, Donald, Cyrus was the worst. Out of all the leaders, he was definitely the toughest. I'm not really sure who to put second, but I've heard Giovanni and Team Rainbow Rocket is also a tough cookie.
Yeah, we'll play Ultra Sun and Moon eventually, Joe, since some of our viewers have suggested it. And also, who the hell are these two? They show up wearing Republican and Democrat masks, too, boys.
Well, Joe and I don't know that guy in the blue Donnie, but I don't care about all that. They just gave us some of the best items in the game being full restores. Although in other games, we'd probably need them way more than in this one.
Okay, boys, all the shenanigans in the power plant has been dealt with thanks to yours truly, and I think this just shows what a great president I am as well as a Pokemon trainer. I'm like Alexander the Great. I charge head-on right at the front of all my troops, instead of others who hide at the back like a bunch of fucking pussies.
Joe, if you're Alexander the Great, then I'm Julius Caesar.
All right, you two, steady on. Comparing yourself to Alexander the Great and Julius Caesar is probably the most ridiculous things I've heard you both ever say.
The only Caesar you're related to, Donald, is a Caesar salad from Wendy's LM Faust. Shots fired right there by me.
Joe, you are so lucky we're getting interrupted by this cutscene here from this literal titan who looks like a homeless person.
Who the hell was that, boys? He looked really scary. And he was talking to himself about some flower Pokemon. What does all this mean?
Well, Joe, that guy is a pivotal person in this game's story, as well as Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphires, too, actually. But I won't say more than that so as to not spoil it for you, at least right now, unless you piss me off.
Fair enough, Obama. I hate spoilers ever since Donald spoiled Endgame for me. But anyway, here we are back in Lumiose City for the second time now, I think. And look who decided to show up with us.
Yeah, Joe, you can't explore the city or anything until you go with Shauna and watch the Lumiose Tower lights light up. And by the way, I mean no offense to any people from France watching this, but this tower is way better than the one in Paris.
Well, the lights are definitely better on Lumiose Tower, Donald. And who remembers when Ash jumped off this in the anime to save his Pikachu? That was some mad shit there, and that was like the second episode of the X and Y series, too.
Hey, boys, look, it's Clement and Bonnie. I'm super glad they're both here together like this.
Yeah, Clement is meant to be some sort of Einstein genius fellow, Joe. And he basically built Lumiose Tower as well as that power plant, too. Basically, without him, Lumiose wouldn't be what it is.
You say that Donald, but most of his experiments or inventions blew up and didn't last more than 3 seconds. And somehow he designed and built all of this when he's only like 12 years old. They really love child labor in the Pokémon series, don't they? Holy hell.
Okay, Obama, but didn't you just see how pretty that tower looked? With all those white lights and beacons on it, I bet you could see Lumiose Tower from any part of the Kalos region.
Joe, you can enjoy the view after you've beaten Clement since he just so happens to be the 5th gym leader in this game and region. He's an electric type user, so what's your plan for this? We don't have anything effective against electric, just so you remember.
Don't worry, Donald, we have a solid team, and I'm sure Greninja will do a lot of damage in here, since it has the Protean ability, which means electric types won't be effective if I use a move that isn't water. See, that's some big brain strats right there.
Okay then, Joe, you'll need that big brain of yours to get to battle Clement because Bonnie is playing Quizmaster with you and you'll need to answer her questions correctly to be able to proceed to the next level of the tower.
Wow, this quiz is so easy, boys. She just wants me to guess what Pokemon is what. Well, this first one is definitely a Pikachu, and if I got that wrong, I'd have banned myself from playing for eternity.
Oh, God. The trainers in the gym only have 1 Pokemon each, which could mean that we'll have to do 6 questions in total, Joe. And if you get any wrong, that means we'll have to do 2 battles on 1 floor. So please don't fuck this up.
Okay, yeah, that's quite bad, not gonna lie. Joe, don't get any wrong, although these questions should be fairly simple. Also, Donald, you didn't take into account that some trainers might have more than 1 Pokemon for us to battle too.
Well, this Dedenne should be easy enough to take out. And I think this is the first time we've come across this Pokemon in this region. At least, boys. Bonnie had one of these in the anime, and it's a new Pokemon introduced in Kalos. It's also a fairy type too, I think.
Yeah, it's super cute, and I love it, Donald, although I'm not sure I'd want to use one, and even if I did, I know you wouldn't let me.
One fairy type is bad enough for us to use on our team, Joe, at least in my view, which you two don't care about anyway, but at least Dedenne isn't pink. That would really piss me off.
Alrighty, Joe, you got the first question right, so that's a good start. Let's try keep this momentum up, buddy. Bonnie's questions will definitely get more difficult the higher we go up.
Okay, Joe, in this question, you gotta work out which one Vivian is out of these 3 moth and butterfly Pokemon. This should be easy enough since we've battled Vivian before.
Easy peasy, Donald. Vivian isn't number 2. The first Pokémon was a Beautifly, if I'm right in saying, and the third Pokémon was Mutham. See how much I've learned about Pokémon since we started playing it together back in Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Yeah, I agree with that, Joe. You've definitely learned a lot about Pokémon since you started playing with Donald and I. And that's of the reasons we made you play so much, so you'd gain some experience and learn by yourself, instead of relying on us all the time.
And he still goes and makes stupid decisions now and then, Obama, but I guess that's just Joe for us. And also, we made a quick cut here since there was a bunch of questions Bonnie asked us, but for the sake of time and getting this video out, we only included 2 of her questions.
Yeah, there were so many questions, and we thought the gym battle would be the most interesting thing for us to do. But anyway, I did manage to answer them all correctly. And the trainers in the gym were super easy to take on as well.
And that was the last question, Joe, which means we finally get to take on our buddy Clement here. And I wonder if he'll have the same team as he did in the anime. I can't remember, to be honest.
You know what's ironic, Donald? Clement caught a Bunnelby in the anime, which is a ground type, and he's an electric type user. I just thought that was a bit funny that they did that. And he even caught a Luxray, too.
Well, it was a Shinx to begin with, Obama, and then he caught it as a Luxio. That was actually his first Pokemon he met, too, but he didn't catch it until way later on.
Oh, look, Donald, he's sending out one of your favorite Pokemon from our Black and White series, LMFAO. This thing gave you so much trouble back then.
Oh my fucking God, it's Emolga again. Please kill it without hesitation and remorse, Joe. I hate this thing with a passion. The little shit kept using Volt Switch in Elisa's gym and it drove me mad.
Luckily for you, Donald, our Greninja is so goddamn strong it just one-shots everything in its path. And Joe taught it Dark Pulse off-screen as well, so it's even more OP. We just need Ice Beam now, I think.
Hey, they've definitely changed Clement's team since you two said he had a Luxray. And in the anime, he never had an Emolga.
He did have Magneton here, though, Joe, and this stupid Pokemon has the sturdy ability. And if you all know me well, you know I hate this ability with a passion. It's just the most infuriating thing ever. This Magneton should have died, but no, it doesn't because of that dumb ability.
Wow, so in one turn, Clement used Electric Terrain and also used a Hyper Potion, and then Sturdy got activated again. This is some serious bullshit here.
And he went and used another potion, too, holy hell, boys. Clement is playing so dirty here, and I'm really getting mad.
I think the gym leaders only have 2 Hyper Potions each, Donald, so this is the end for Clement's Magneton now. And it would have been more fun for us if he had a Magnezone anyway.
All right, that's 2 Pokemon down and 1 left, guys. Wish me luck. And comparing this battle to the other gym leaders, I still think Karina has been the most difficult because of that Machoke. This battle was more annoying than anything else.
I know we're higher leveled than his team, but only by 4 levels. And yet his entire team basically got one shot again, boys. This seems to be a recurring theme with all these gym battles in this game. I mean, the trainers we find out in the wild have been more challenging than the gym leaders.
Nice, well done, Joe. You now have 5 Kalos League gym badges, which means we're more than 3/4 of the way through and only have 3 badges left. Let's see if the next 3 will actually be challenging for you or not.
Hey, he gave me the TM for Thunderbolt, though, Donald. At least we got something worthwhile from this battle. I'll definitely be teaching that to one of our team members.
I don't know who can learn it, but yeah, sure, whatever you want, Joe. At the rate you're going, you may as well remove every single move except the HM ones and just use Tackle for the rest of the game. That way it could be more challenging.
No, please don't listen to him, Joe. Knowing you, that would end up as a disaster for the whole game, and I can't be bothered to go in and clean your mess up if you fuck everything up.
I wasn't even listening to what Donald said, Obama. And look, the professor wants us to go to a cafe which Lysander owns. Now this guy is a barista too, and you two don't like him. You shouldn't judge someone if you don't know them, boys.
The thing is, Joe, we do know him, and you would too if you bothered to finish the anime with us or played this game 10 years ago when it came out. But anyway, I also see you've changed your clothes.
Yeah, when I healed just now, I checked out the changing room and found these inside, Donald. They aren't that great, but I felt a change would be good. And look at this cafe. I thought you'd have liked it, Donald, since it's Republican red all over.
It may be Republican red, Joe, but Lysander is an absolute maniac and makes me look normal. So, yeah, I really would rather leave now. So how about we call this episode to its end, Obama?
All right, Donald, as you wish. We did lots in this episode anyway, so thanks for watching, everyone, and please remember to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy our content.
Oh, Ooh, I just got a King's Rock. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And in the next episode, we'll be heading towards Lumiose City, where our next gym battle is going to be. And also, we can look for Goomy, too.
Yeah, bye everyone. Have a great week and see you all in the next one.